What's the latest from the sheriff there? What's he saying tonight?
Sure. So he invited us into his nerve center there in the sheriff's office and showed us that heat map. And if you look at it, he's been documenting all the sightings here in Monmouth County. This is really where this all began back in November. So since December 2nd, he's been documenting every possible sighting on this map. And it's just overwhelming when you look at the site, just how many calls have come in. And he's trying to do his best. He's directing everybody to the FBI. He's actually demanding more federal help. He's asked the Governor Murphy here to declare a state of emergency. That has not happened. He's asking Congress to enact some laws around these drones so that, you know, there's GPS tracking available so we can know like where the operator of these drones are, like we do with planes, like the FAA on these kind of sites that you can track planes on. But he's saying this is a failure from the federal government from the get-go. Take a listen.
If this was a national security concern and a test, we failed miserably, right? When you have kind of a rogue drone flying over Weapons Station Earl and Picatinny Arsenal and some critical infrastructure and closing down airports. I mean, medevac flights have been canceled because of these sightings of drones and drone activity. The airport in New York closed down for a period of time because of drone activity or reported drone activity. When you have that occur, we have a problem with obviously what's going on. And from a public safety standpoint, it's concerning, right? And it's going to be a challenge in the future. We can't have recreational or commercial drones flying over large crowds and audiences, you know, on our beachfront, like with 70,000 people at a concert. That's not going to do it. So we need to change the laws and, again, try to put some of this deconfliction and de-droning capability, or at least drone detection capability, in the state police hands.
So there you have it, Brian. This is the guy who's really at the center of this whole thing, and he's walking the walk. He's asking for change and hopeful that the feds are going to give us some help here in New Jersey to help detect these things.
Rich, you're an amazing investigative reporter. You've been working on this for like a week now. You saw drones for yourself. What's your sense? I mean, when we see these sound bites from the White House and they're saying, look, this is literally nothing. These are people making mistakes in what they're seeing. These are planes and stars, et cetera. Do you think, are they purposely misleading people, or do you think that that is what they actually believe? Do they really not know what's going on? Are we all just crazy?
I think this is a complicated, thank you for saying that, Brian, but I think this is a complicated answer, so I'll take it in parts. I think the government, number one, knows more than they're telling us. And I think that's evidenced by the fact that military bases are saying, we're seeing these things. And then John Kirby, the security advisor, is saying, we're no credible threats, or, you know, that was his initial statement last week. So there's more going on there. They're saying, look, a lot of these are planes. I asked Sean Golden, the sheriff, that, do you think the majority of these calls are planes? And he believes that a healthy majority likely are planes. You know, just in full transparency, Brian, I kicked the tires on my reporting last week. I asked every possible expert. I asked a former CIA person. I asked a CEO of a drone company to look at our footage, and I asked an aviation expert who's got 43 years as a pilot, both military and commercial pilot. What do you see? You know, what are we seeing? This is crazy. And the CEO of the drone company says, I think these are planes in your footage. And to my surprise, the aviation expert, the pilot of 43 years, says, I think I see drones. So it just goes to show you, nobody knows what we're seeing up in these skies. And that's why the lack of information is so key. And if the government knows what's actually happening, if there is some program, they should come out and tell us, so everybody's not looking up at the sky wondering, is this a drone over my house? Because it's freaking people out. Kids are asking all sorts of questions. We don't have answers, and there's really no end in sight with this, Brian.
Yeah, and look, I mean, with planes, you can go to like FlightAware. You can see the plane where it is in the exact moment. It makes sense that they should do that for drones. At least people could track them then, know what they're looking at, not be totally freaked out, know where the drone came from. It's wild. It's a wild story. Rich McHugh, thank you again for staying on top of it. We'll We'll check back in with
Thanks,
you.
Brian.
We're calling these UFOs drones, but how do we know? How do we even know if they're really drones? We don't really know what they are.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.